GMB star Narinder Kaur slammed as she hits out at naive Prince William fans. Good Morning Britain panelist Narinder Kaur has faced fierce backlash from fans online after hitting out at Prince William. Good Morning Britain panelist Narinder Kaur caused outrage on social media as she took aim at naive supporters of Prince William. The GMB star reacted to William's desire to be a change-maker king when he inherits the throne from his father King Charles III, insisting he has to confront the history of the British Empire. She wrote on X, formerly Twitter, "The only way Prince William can truly be a different monarch loved by the next generation is by confronting empire, return the Kohinoor, apologize for slavery and colonial exploitation. You can't talk about change while ignoring history. He is bound by the legacy of kings and queens before him. How naive to think he isn't." She reiterated, "Prince William, I'll be a different kind of monarch. I want to make changes. I won't be bound by tradition, and I'm not overwhelmed by the 1,000 years of history which came before me. Except he is bound by history. History is what is allowing him to become king." But her followers disagreed, with one writing, "So should he return it to the Mughals or the Maharajas, or to the people they usurped the lands from? Which tribe was the original owner of that land? We are all colonizers, and have used slavery to build our empires." Someone else fumed, "Next you'll be telling me we need to pay reparations." Another fan moaned, "I'm sure he'll take your advice on from your extensive experience of being in the royal family," while somebody else called the post, "quality comedy." The sparks of British morning television rarely die quietly, and on this particular week, they erupted like fireworks across both social media and living rooms. Good Morning Britain panelist Narinder Kaur found herself at the center of a royal storm after making comments that rattled the very foundation of the monarchy's most loyal fanbase. Her target? Not the king, not Meghan and Harry. This time it was Prince William's admirers, whom she labeled as naive beyond belief. The remark, dropped casually yet with unmistakable force during a heated studio debate, became the moment that lit up the news cycle. One viewer called it a punch in the gut for loyal royalists, while another typed furiously on X, formerly Twitter, "Who does Narinder think she is to insult people who adore William?" The clash on GMB. The panel had been discussing William's rising role as the face of a modern monarchy, his appearances with Catherine, Princess of Wales, carefully staged to show relatability, warmth, and leadership. One panelist gushed that the heir to the throne was the stabilizing anchor of the royal family. Another praised his charisma, calling him the people's future king. That's when Narinder Kaur cut in, her voice sharpened with conviction. "Look, let's be honest. These people who worship William like he's some flawless saint are naive. He's not this perfect golden boy the palace wants you to believe. He plays the same PR game as the rest of them. If you think he's different, you're buying into a fantasy." The studio grew tense. Host Adil Ray raised an eyebrow, Susanna Reid shifted in her seat, and the control room producers surely leaned forward in delight, knowing this was the clip that would dominate headlines by lunchtime. Social media explosion. Within minutes, hashtags trended. Hashtag Team William. Hashtag Narinder Kaur. Hashtag Naive Fans. The digital battlefield was drawn. Royal fans rushed to defend William, calling Narinder's outburst disrespectful and deeply unfair. One particularly fiery post read, "Prince William has dedicated his life to service. How dare Narinder dismiss those who admire him as naive? It's insulting to millions of us." But others sided with her. Some admitted they agreed with her critique, that William, like every royal, is packaged and polished, his image managed with the same precision as a Hollywood star. One user posted, "She's not wrong. People need to remember it's PR. Royals aren't gods, they're human beings with flaws. Narinder's brave for saying what others won't." The legacy of outspokenness. Narinder Kaur, no stranger to controversy, seemed unfazed by the backlash. She has long built her brand on being the one to speak truths others shy away from. Her candidness, some say, makes her essential to GMB's dynamic. Critics call her loud, divisive, and attention-seeking, while supporters argue she provides a rare unfiltered perspective in a media landscape often tiptoeing around royal sensitivities. But targeting Prince William, long viewed as the monarchy's safest pair of hands, was like poking the hornet's nest. Unlike the vitriol often hurled at Prince Harry or Meghan Markle, William is largely insulated by goodwill. Even those who question the monarchy tend to admit he represents its most promising future. And therein lay the fury. Narinder had not just questioned William, but the very people who love him. The naivete call royal fans naive. For some, it's a dismissal of their admiration, their belief in tradition, their faith in continuity. But Narinder, in her follow-up interviews, clarified her stance. I'm not saying people can't admire William. I'm saying blindly worshipping him as if he's without flaws is naive. It's the same game of optics the palace has played for generations. The monarchy has survived by controlling narrative. William is part of that system, whether people want to admit it or not. Her comments ignited a broader cultural conversation. Are Britons too trusting of the image of their royals? Is William genuinely the modernizing force he appears, or simply a carefully marketed symbol designed to preserve an ancient institution? Public opinion splits. Polling in the days after suggested a divide. A Snap survey revealed that while 62% of respondents believed William had a genuine commitment to public service, a smaller but notable 28% agreed that royal PR gloss sometimes fools the public. Interestingly, among younger Britons, those less attached to monarchy as tradition, Narinder's comments struck a chord. One 23-year-old caller to a GMB phone-in segment said, "I love William, but Narinder's right. People act like he's untouchable, and that's not healthy. He's human, like anyone else. The pedestal thing is weird." Palace silence. As expected, Buckingham Palace remained tight-lipped. They rarely, if ever, respond to debates of this kind. Yet insiders whispered that aides were unimpressed with Kaur's remarks. A royal correspondent claimed courtiers saw her words as an unnecessary, personal attack on the public. Still, the palace likely knew better than to escalate. The royals have weathered storms far greater than a GMB panel spat. But make no mistake, the firm is always watching. The celebrity media cycle. By midweek, Narinder's name was splashed across tabloids. Photos of her leaving the GMB studios, coffee in hand, were captioned with headlines like, "Kaur doubles down on Prince William Roe," and "Narinder refuses to apologize." She gave a defiant interview outside her home, telling a journalist, "I won't back down. I said what I believe. Prince William is not beyond criticism, and neither are his fans." The comment only poured more fuel on the fire. Fans accused her of being obsessed with stirring drama for relevance. Supporters countered that she was being villainized simply for breaking the unwritten rule: never criticize William. A reflection of the times. In many ways, the episode was less about Narinder versus William and more about Britain's relationship with its monarchy in 2025. With King Charles's reign still under constant scrutiny, the weight of the future rests heavily on William and Catherine. The public wants to believe in them, perhaps needs to, as symbols of stability in uncertain times. But Narinder's interjection reminded everyone that faith in the monarchy isn't universal, and that blind devotion, to any public figure, invites criticism. The aftermath. Days later, GMB producers smiled knowingly as ratings ticked upwards. Controversy sells. Narinder's fiery words, whether loved or loathed, had once again cemented the program's place as Britain's most talked-about breakfast show. For Narinder Kaur, the backlash was simply part of the job. "If you want polite small talk, I'm not your girl," she told a podcast host. "If you want honesty, then buckle up. Because I'm going to say it how I see it, even if it ruffles feathers." And ruffle feathers she did. From Windsor Castle courtyards to kitchen breakfast tables across the nation, Narinder's critique echoed. Was it naive to adore Prince William so completely, or was it necessary to keep believing in fairy tales in a world so desperately short of them?